All right, now let's talk about personal finance, especially as the year gradually draws to a close. It's important to know how to manage your personal finance, and that's what we do on this segment on a regular basis. Today we will be talking about personal finance risks, and with us is the Doctor of Finance, Charles Fakruha. He will be talking to us about personal finance risk. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's it with the whisper this morning?
Yes, because today is a Monday,
Yeah.
and I didn't see the excitement that Christmas was coming. You know, even while coming to the studio, I could see a lot of desperation in commuters' faces. No fuel, no vehicles, transport costs have gone so high, and people are trying to express themselves, and you could see it. You know, but as personal finance experts, we are telling them that despite the chaos, you can still have that peace within you. Just understand the essence of the season is love, and love is everything. So show love to your neighbors, show love to everybody. It doesn't have to be that it must be money. You know, even if you used to receive 100,000 and they have cut it down to 50,000 naira, then you can still show love, because the essence of this season is love. And you see, love is what makes money goes around. It's love. Love is what attracts money. If you don't show love, you can't attract money. And any attraction without action is simply a distraction. Yes.
I like that. Attraction.
So that takes me to today's topic, personal finance risks.
Risk, okay. Showing love in that sense would be in terms of generosity, right?
Not only in generosity. Yes, I agree with that, but it's not only in giving cash. You know, having time with your neighbor, talking to your neighbor, finding out how you're doing, how is everything, you know? Because people think that when you want to show love, you must give. It does not always follow, you know? Paying attention to your child, listening to your spouse, listening to that neighbor, listening to that your workman is enough showing of love. And this season in which we are, let's begin to imbibe that kind of culture and let it continue, not only in this festive season, let it become an habit and will continue. Of course, if we all decide that we want to have positive thoughts, we will see a lot of changes in our country. But we
a lot of people would argue that the love really doesn't translate to money. If you give me so much love and I don't have money to feed myself, fill my tummy, take care of my family, then the love is irrelevant.
Yes, you are looking at one aspect of it.
Okay.
If somebody is going through a lot of challenges, money challenge, financial challenge and all that, and you listen to that person, you allow them speak their mind, that will encourage them to begin to think differently. If one door closes, you open another door. And that takes us to today's topic, personal financial risks.
Okay.
And one of the first risks is income risks.
Okay.
Now, there is a risk in terms of your income. What if the company decides to close down? The company is going through crisis. They can no longer pay salaries again. It's an income risk. What if you have a disability, you have an accident, you can no longer work? That's also an income risk. Then there could be emergency. You can no longer continue to, even aging. You are aging, you can no longer work. These are income risks. How do you avoid it? How do you mitigate against this kind of risks? Multiple source of income.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay.
Yes. For aging, you need to plan for your old age. Take an insurance policy while you are still working now. Then, for the one where the company cannot continue to pay, they've closed down.
They closed down.
If you have a side hustle behind that, you just fall back to your side hustle. So, there is no job security anywhere.
What
So
about the disability risk?
disability, of course, there are insurance policies you can also take that when so and so happens to you.
But that would have been done long before.
Of course, that's what
we
I'm saying. These are two best times to plant a tree. 20 years ago and today. So let's begin to look at that. You know, it is not the end of life.
But what if, as you're speaking right now, the person who is listening to you is going through that disability issue right now?
Good. For others to learn from that person. That's what we are saying. If you have
So
not
there's no
done
solution for that person right now.
disability risks, now fall back to your savings, no matter how small it is.
Okay.
Don't be shy to call for help from relations. And I believe you must have done one or two things for other persons who might come your way.
Favor.
Yes, but we are saying for those of us who have been privileged to still be healthy, this is the best time to take that disability risk. What about unemployment or underemployment? The company capacity has reduced because of inflation, because of high diesel operation costs. They can no longer sustain that workforce, and they are downsizing. Well, that's what they do, they downsize.
Downsize.
Well, I call it downsize. You know,
Okay, dumping people.
Yeah, dumping people.
That's a harsh way to put
Exactly, they downsize people. What do? You fall back to your side hustle. So that is one important risk.
So you must always have a side hustle.
You just need to have multiple source of income, no matter how small, or even something you might not have been doing it so well. But when this emergency comes up,
It just becomes.
and you never can tell. It can become what you are, expected to do, and you are enjoying it, and you make more than while you were giving full time to a paid job.
Okay. So what are the other risks we are looking at?
We have expense risks. Now, there could be an emergency. Expenses could have just a bag of rice. I'm told, I don't know how much it is now. Maybe you have budgeted maybe 35,000 and it's now 50,000. What do? Yes, this is not the time to begin to complain and say Buhari must go or this must happen. Yes, you need to now cut down. It's as simple as that. Okay. You've budgeted 35,000, now it is 50,000. Yeah. What that 35,000, that amount, how much rice can that buy? What do you do with it? It's a matter of you yourself reducing. Of course, your children might not understand, but you understand. So you reduce that your consumption. Okay. Yes. So that's another way you can mitigate or reduce the effect of that risk, because we cannot run away from this risk. It has to be there.
Well, one risk or one inevitable need this season is that for those who have children, they would need to buy Christmas clothes, shoes, make hair, and all of that. Because while you might want to explain to you, well, as an adult, you don't have to do all of that for yourself. But for these children, how do you manage that expectation while also preventing all of these risks?
Okay. You see, this is the time we have to look inwards. Okay. If you take that your child, 10 years, 12 years, 11 years, they must have had some new clothes you must have bought one time or the other. Okay. There's nothing wrong. Get a very good dry cleaner. Dry clean those clothes. Get some of their old shoes. Make it look,
But we're talking about these kids who do not understand all of these things, and they're used to having new outfits every year.
By the time you do these things, you dry clean that suits very well. The shoes, you polish it very well. I say, try, let's see. Oh, it fits you very well. You can use this. And of course, I'm not saying it's going to be 100%, but you can achieve.
It can be managed.
Yeah, it can be managed. Okay.
But you have to do some explanation and let them understand.
Yes, you can even tell that child that this suit is what is even raining. Don't you see other people putting on? The ones they even selling, say, yo, this is even better.
No, I'm saying that instead of gaslighting the children by telling them this is better. Why not explain to them that, sweetheart, the situation on ground
what if they are too young?
What if they are too young to understand? Like, that's what we call financial incest.
So, but they are not too young to understand the lie.
I mean, children at 4, 5, 6.
So you're saying that lying to them is easier for them to understand the lie?
You're not lying to them. There are certain age, that's what we call money and kids. There are different stages that the kind of financial information you disclose to them depend on their age. So for the 4, 5 years child, you don't need to go into those full details. But the ones who are teenagers, 12, and all that, you can go a little bit to say, you do know that if we spend all this money now, you are going back to the boarding house. You need to have this, you need that. So they will begin to read.
Yes, I'm just against you telling them that this is the raining suit when you know that
it's just in passing. It's just in passing. I just say
all right.
And of course, if it's properly dry cleaned, you'll see that suits, Yes, like I am wearing my own Christmas suit today. You know, it's a suit I've not worn for a very long time.
Oh,
But I
okay, I can't wait to see that.
Okay, in wrapping up,
Yes.
you want to run us through the last risk for today?
We also have investments risks.
Okay.
Yes, you do an investment, the investment is not going the way it's expected to go. You invested maybe in a company, the company is not paying you the expected dividend.
Return,
Yes, this is something you have to take into consideration. Then we also have the last one, which is debits and credit risks.
Okay.
This is the time not to get into too much debt.
Debts. Okay.
You know, it just few people in Nigeria that have the credit card. And if you have a credit card, be very, very careful, because the credit card companies, the banks, they want you to just keep using it, and of course, they will not even tell you. The interest rates on those credit cards keep increasing. You know, so this is the time you have to be very careful. For your debit card, of course, it's your money. Have your budget. This is the period where your budget will come to save you. Be disciplined about it. We are not saying be too strict, but once in a while. And of course, if you have been following our personal finance series, this festive period is a period where you must have been planning for it. People plan to go on vacation. People plan for festive period. So you must have started planning from it long ago, not this month of December.
Okay.
So you should have had that plan, what you want to spend. And of course, in terms of gifts, you can have homemade, self-made gifts.
Okay.
And like I said sometime earlier, you don't even need to do a lot of parties. You can encourage other people to come together, bring their food, their drinks, so that the burden will not be
like a
overwhelming.
picnic.
Most importantly, show love and peace to people around you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charles Fakra,
Yeah.
for, of course, sharing those details with us. Very needful at this time. We'll take a break now. When we come back, it will be time to discuss the event that happened yesterday, of course, the World Cup finals. We'll be right back.